Amazon is screwing Matt over because his IPI score went down, so he can't ship in a bestseller. It's a huge problem for Matt right now, and it's impacting his business. Selling on Amazon is not passive income, which is why you're here listening to me. My name is Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guide. In clips like you'll see today, we talk to Amazon sellers and ask them about the pains they experience. We offer solutions. We talk about PPC, SEO, design, and catalog troubleshooting. Enjoy. Thanks for coming on, Matt.
Stephen, I know we've been in touch back and forth. My IPI score is so low. And is that why my stuff's not showing up?
No, most likely not. I do not believe that Amazon hurts somebody's ability to sell by their IPI score. Having said that, de facto, yes. So what I mean by this is if your IPI score is low, your sell-through rate is also low. And if your sell-through rate is low, then yes, they're going to diminish your presence in search results.
Okay. Inventory, I know we've been back and forth about this. It's a nightmare. And they just keep lowering it. And I've been so long over, the allowed amount. So I can't send in inventory, which I told you. It's just a nightmare. Do you think I should liquidate stuff?
That is a tough question to answer. All right. So for those, so Matt's been public about what he sells in the past. So you're okay for me to point out, if you guys want a lawn gnome, they're right next to Matt right now. Go pick one of them up. So if you want to plug yourself, feel free. They're awesome.
I don't have any more of these and I can't send them in because my IP, so he's my best seller. Can't send them in.
So Matt's problem is common right now. Amazon is screwing Matt over because his IPI score went down, so he can't ship in a bestseller. It's a huge problem for Matt right now, and it's impacting his business. A couple of ideas that I came up for Matt was, one, ship it in on another account, whether that's a second account he owns, a third-party seller, whoever it might be. That was one opportunity, because you can't just increase your IPI within 7 days. It's not possible. Yeah. Here is the other angle, and Matt, you and I have not talked about this yet. I would advise you to file a case asking for an override, citing the fact that you can't ship in your bestseller and how it's causing a stock out, and how by them not allowing you to ship this one product in, your IPI is going to get even lower because it was your bestseller.
Yeah.
And this question is going to be difficult, and it may fall on deaf ears at Amazon, truth be told.
Yeah.
But I think you should go through that process. Okay. And if you fail here and your IPI continues to get worse, you're going to death spiral, and then we will get to the liquidation conundrum. I don't think I would make a liquidation decision on December 1st.
Yeah,
I probably would the week after Christmas.
I hear you. I just want to get that floaty in there because that's death. I mean, to not have my top seller available, it's like, oh my God.
It's a worst case scenario. It violates rule number 1 of Amazon. Yeah. Don't stock out. And so I think that you can make a compelling case to ask Amazon to override your situation. I think you have avenues, whether you use a 3PL to ship it FBM, which Matt's already told me is not doable.
It's too expensive.
Which is why we didn't suggest that on the show today.
Yeah.
And expenses makes perfect sense why.
Yeah.
And then having another account to ship in on the FBA would be the other opportunity.
Yeah, that's, I think, what you mentioned. I wasn't clear. I appreciate that. And it's probably the worst time. It's like, yeah, you want to dance with that in December? No.
Yeah. Well, the secondary account scenario is probably a fast acting solution because you can make a shipment today, right now, right? Like, for example, if I was your buyer and I said, Matt, cool, you sell this at $50, I'll give you 15 and I'll take care of all the other expenses. You make 15, I make 15, or, obviously my math doesn't check out, but you get the idea. And then cool, I send my shipment request to your 3PL. They ship it into my account. I'm up and online on FBA in less than 48 hours, and you're starting to sell the unit. The reason why that's not an ideal outcome for your account, though, is that you're still having your IPI score go down and further down. That's the problem.
I'm just unclear how, Stephen, how you're saying, for example, your account, or you're saying me opening a second account?
Either way. Now,
how would you sell it on your account?
So real quick on one seller opening up a second account, I want to walk a fine line here. It's okay to have multiple accounts. That's not a violation of Amazon terms. It is, however, a violation to sell the same item on multiple accounts. So you're going to be walking this really fine line. Well, you're technically not selling it on multiple accounts because you can't sell it on the other account.
Yeah.
But how Amazon might interpret that can get a little dicey. I don't think you'll run into problems. I'm just telling you it's a non-0% risk move. Better than your status quo. As for you selling it on my account, there's two ways that can work, or anybody else's account, by the way. By the way, I don't currently do this for anybody. In my conversations with Matt, this was me trying to do a favor for him. The reason why using a secondary account is a potential way to take advantage of the Christmas rush is because you can ship it in immediately and they start selling it. You still own the ASIN material, you still own the brand registry and all that good stuff. It's just another account selling it. They don't have an IPI issue because they have good IPI or whatever.
Is that what you recommend?
It's one possibility. I would attack this from every possibility if I were in your shoes. Like for example, I would sell a 40-day or 20-day supply, somewhere in that range, to anybody who's willing to get your product back in stock right now. It's in your best interest.
What do you mean? Like who? Like how do I do it?
Me, a third party. Go look up on Smart Scout other sellers in your area and contact them. Make a Facebook post, make a LinkedIn post, say, hey, here's my problem. I'm looking to sell wholesale a 20-day supply to keep me in stock. Is anybody willing to do me a favor? I'll make it worth your while. Here's what you will win on this deal. Maybe you don't make the COGS public knowledge, but whatever. For their time. That's what I would do if I were you.
I appreciate it. And I just don't follow. So let's just make it up hypothetically. So you said, Matt, I'm going to buy a 20-day supply. Great. So now I call my 3PL and you list my item on your seller account? Yes.
I can pull my phone up right now and put your ASIN on my account in seconds and create a shipment within 15 minutes. And then I would give the shipment information to the 3PL or whoever you decide to do this with.
So I couldn't use current inventory that's there.
Not at FBA, no, but at your 3PL, yes. You would be making a new shipment from a 3PL location or the warehouse into FBA.
Do you think, how long do you think that would take to settle in terms of?
When you say settle, what do you mean? Like arrive at Amazon or?
Yeah, because I got the 3PL.
Standard shipment timeframes. So it's right now, basically the cutoff date to make sure something can get there before the Christmas rush is basically passed. So there's no guarantee it would get there in time.
You would definitely recommend UPS as opposed to?
Over a pallet, yes. So the cost is going to be higher and the profit will be less. But here's why it's a good idea. You don't want to be out of stock on this ASIN. If it was a bestseller last month, it's going to be a bestseller next month. But if you're out of stock, it may not be a bestseller next month.
Yeah. So last thing, and I appreciate your patience with me. I don't know anyone. So that to me, I know what you mean. And to be perfectly open and honest with you, I don't think I have the time to do it or the resources. So I guess my other option is the opening a second account. What do you think?
So if you do that, you need a unique LLC, bank account, credit card.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah. So, and I do have lots of good videos on multiple accounts. So if anybody's watching this and is like, hey, I do want to open a multiple account, type into Google multiple accounts, my Amazon guy. I have I have a playlist of videos for you to watch.
They're terrific, but I've watched them and it's time consuming. It's a lot of hoops.
Isn't Amazon passive income, Matt? Isn't that what you signed up for, is passive income?
Passive income. I'm just watching my income go down passively.
Matt is one of the unfortunate sellers who's run into a lot of problems, and it's been very frustrating for Matt. And I've watched his journey over the past year, and Matt's been on the brink of go or no go, stay or not stay. And so Matt, for what piece of advice would you give somebody who's thinking about getting into this?
Time.
Prepare for the time.
Yeah, it takes a ton of time. And I spent so much time. And what happened with me is I spent a ton of time. And then what happened, I didn't see returns. So I couldn't do it anymore. You know, it was like so much time. It didn't matter. I've done everything and anything. I think better product research, to be honest. How does that sound?
So better product research.
Yeah.
And when I think about selecting a product, I always like to tell people, stick to what you know, data be damned. Is this a product line that you were just a super familiar person on, or how did you decide these products?
So I have another product that I came up with. I actually would love to send you one to get your opinion. It's a toy. It's too late. Did it with my daughter. It's awesome. I feel like I want to show it to you. And it's different, and I thought it was going to be humongous, but I didn't get Helium 10. I was watching another YouTuber talk about a passion project. I think I told you about this. Anyway, then I used Helium 10, and I found the gnomes. And I was super intrigued, and I did my research, and I didn't see anything that I really liked. So I was like, I could do it better. And that's how it began.
So anybody that wants to get 20% off Helium 10 to do their product research, I just dropped a promo code. It's Stephen Pope 6M20 in the chat. I do recommend, once you've selected your product, to verify it using Helium 10 research. In terms of your second product, or the toy, I want to give you cheerleading hoorah, if you will. You don't have to be winning on your first product to eventually win. And in your case, Matt, you may want to go from 8 SKUs, or whatever your SKU count is, down to 1 or 2 with the gnomes, keep the best seller, liquidate the rest, and start a second toy that's not a gnome. And one of the mistakes that I think Matt made is, I think he went too deep, too many SKUs on his like, before he even like engaged anybody else. He bought all of these different units. And what I would recommend doing is, instead of creating a whole brand line in one SKU, one type of item, i.e. gnome, what I would recommend new sellers do is do one gnome, one flamingo, one other grass lawn product unrelated to those two. And don't do deep on colors, go deep on broad, not in depth. So when you're talking about that second toy, I would encourage you, because it's a new line. It's not in the gnomes.
I just kind of wanted to, I guess I want to make sure that it's not a complete failure. And could it stay on the same? I have 2 trademarks. Actually, that one's it's trademarked already also, the other thing. And I have them. It's ready. It's made.
Then it's a no-brainer for you to proceed. You still have to solve your IPI score issue in the meantime, but you should proceed. Get the listing made, get it ready, and try and figure out how to ship it in somehow.
Yeah, okay. That's good advice. All right. I mean, if I were to, like, I have so many units, it's sick. And they're all at my 3PL, who I told you that's a nightmare. So if I were to liquidate, of course, liquidating stock at Amazon's easy, right? What do I do with the 3PL?
So you have all the stock at the 3PL. What you're going to want to do is find a liquidator who will purchase it and get it off your hands. And they're going to pay you somewhere between 2 cents on the dollar to 10 cents on the dollar. That's the going rate. But
at least they'll take it all?
Potentially. I have used a liquidator before. I do not know a single person who would recommend a liquidator.
Because it's such a bath.
I mean, it's a margin play for them. So all they care about is the margin. That's it. So I do think that you are a candidate for thinking about liquidation in your scenario. I think that you should consider or look at selling your account / selling the inventory and not the account. The liquidator doesn't care about your account, but a strategic Amazon buyer would. They would care about the account. And then let's say you did sell the account and all of the inventory. You could always open a new account for the second toy and start over.
That's fair, but no, who's going to buy it? You had recommended that somebody, and I spoke with them.
So I recommend the Brokerage Quiet Light. Your brand is not an attractive purchase that they would want to go to market with, most likely. I think you would probably are better off posting it organically through social and just being honest about the buy up front. Just say, and because people know if you do that, they're going to know you're desperate by default. And that's okay. Just sell right into that objection. Just say, guys, I've got some pain right now. Here's the situation I'm dealing with. Here's what I'm thinking of. I just would like to get out of my position as best I can. It's a sunk cost. I want to start my next thing.
That's what I want to do.
Entrepreneurs do this all the time, right? There's groups like the Entrepreneurs Organization filled with entrepreneurs who have had a failed project and then immediately snowball into a successful one. There's also a lot of entrepreneurs who snowball into 3 more failed projects.
That ain't going to happen.
But the difference is you've now got some road rash. And somebody who's deductive like you, Matt, needs road rash, and then you'll make better decisions. You learn by making mistakes. So I have a very positive prognosis about your future, and I want to give you some encouragement. I was very real with you today, and I told you the same advice that I'm giving to the public that I would privately.
Good.
And that's the authentic nature of the show. And I'm also very proud of you for your willingness to be vulnerable on camera. I mean, like, sincerely, I mean, if there's anybody watching right now that feels Matt's pain and wants to buy his brand, how can they get in touch with you, Matt?
Garden Gnomes Galore, all one word, GARDEN, GNOMES. That should be right here.
At Gmail or?
GardenGnomesGalore.com.
Okay, so that's how you get in touch with Matt. We just gave him a little ad and a pitch because of the value that he shared today and the vulnerability. This is the sort of stuff you never see anywhere.
This is like Stephen, one quick thing. So I appreciate all the advice, and I'm completely frustrated at this point. And as you know, what I do for a living, this isn't my living. So the problem is time. You're right. Anyone thinks it's passive income? Nope. It's not even close to passive income. Okay. It's a full-time job. And it's just me doing it. I don't have a team. So I'm very frustrated, overwhelmed, over my head. I'm losing sleep, stressed. What's my first actionable step? And by the way, your team is good. And I'm a customer. I'm a little plug for my Amazon guy, the best. I hired them for PPC, coaching calls. You guys have done cases for me. Highly recommended. The best, period. But,
thank you for that endorsement. Thank you, Matt.
Your team you guys handle my PPC, and your team just emailed me, my gun gnome, now they're canceling campaigns on him. They're not letting me, I got that.
Amazon is a woke platform.
So it's just like everything's just crumbling. So my question is, so when you say, maybe I could start with getting rid of some ASINs and taking the loss. There
is no question in my mind you need to liquidate your bad SKUs. Any Amazon expert will be able to identify this for you. It's obvious.
Yes.
So how is probably where people debate it.
Yeah.
If you did a removal order right now and just said, you know what, to get the best seller in, we're going to liquidate 75% of the portfolio, and then you shrunk your business down, you donated the inventory or you liquidated it somehow, and you washed your hands clean. All of that is possible. Timing, debatable. How quickly you need to do it, debatable. Who you do it with, debatable. There's not a wrong answer on these questions. It's going to be a preference point for you. Or it's just how do I do it? I need to know how. kind of question.
Has to be done. Something has to be done. I'm dying. I'm dying. So, and I don't know how to do it. It's really, you know.
And I'm a growth guy. The going in the elevator on the way down part, I'll be honest, that is not my skill set. And so I don't know who is the best in the world at closing things down. That is not something that's a very different world. I know what the steps should be theoretically, but the actual tactical of going through it, I don't have the road rash there to help you. I'm sorry, Matt.
Okay. Well, all right, I'll look into it. Maybe so I should start eliminating ASINs and just like
no brainer on that. You should.
Okay, liquidate the inventory at Amazon, and then my 3PL. What if I put? I mean, are they going to charge me to get rid of it?
Yes, they will. They'll charge you to ship it. They'll charge you to put it in the trash bin. Yes.
Last thing I'll tell you, I did a removal order, 4,100 units. They removed, I think, 3,600 because then not all of them are capable. What do you think they cost to that removal order?
I'm gonna guess $3,000.
7,200.
I was way off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even to just get out of your position, it's going to cost you money. When you talk about dying, I feel you.
Dead.
It hurts.
Yeah.
And so to get out, it costs money.
That's the whole thing. It's like it costs money, you know. All right. You've been very, very patient with me. Thank you.
I think you have been generous with what you've shared today as well, Matt, which is why I gave you extra time. I think it was just a genuine interview of when things don't go perfectly. So thank you for coming on, Matt. And I hope that a year from now, we hear about the next success and not another failure, because I know you're an entrepreneur. You're going to do it whether you want to or not. You're just programmed that way.
My Amazon guy will be there every step of the way.
We'll help you where we can, Matt. All right. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Steven.
Bye-bye. Slam that like and subscribe button and join me every Thursday, noon Eastern Standard Time, where you can watch Amazon sellers come on camera and ask me literally any question live. We'll see you then.